You're all sluggish, and look at your body. It's all like angled.
Body language means.
See, you're not standing all full of energy. And I'm all out from 4 a.m. on to 8 o'clock. I don't slow down. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So you do longer days, getting up at 3 and going to bed at the 10, 11 o'clock, but your energy output is much less full on than I would be. Come on, you gotta admit. Am I right or am I wrong? My analysis is pretty accurate.
Yes, but I will say that Gabriel is no, he's I'm not gonna say a slacker, but
He's not a slacker at all. No. But you spread.
You are dying.
He's more like a long-term. No, not a long-term, but you're like a 24-hour race, and I'm like a Formula One. I'm all out. Don't you find?
He's like the
I don't think this is gonna
run. He's gonna run a mile, but you're gonna run the sprint every day.
Yeah. Pertains. No. He just goes longer, so he can't output as much. This goes back to what I was saying. If we did bursts of 3 months, no weekends and all that barbecue family thing, then we have 2 weeks off completely. Then you're fully with family when you get the time off. That's balance of life right there. Not this dabbling. I do a few days at work.
Even if you say you disconnect for 2 weeks, you're never going to disconnect for 2 weeks.
You will, baby.
No.
Because you're going to be all in, because you're going to have moved forward with your growth of your business. It's not going to be little tiny, minuscule, on you're off. Let the sun shine. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
No, it's because you're fighting it because you don't want to do the sacrifice. It's hard. It's not easy.
You saying that
Yes, you want to go and
two people that actually work the weekend?
No,
Seriously?
what you talking about?
Have you not?
No, but
Lord.
it's passive
What have I been doing
administrative.
for 8 months?
It's not growth. It's
it doesn't mean when
You're
you
right.
spend your weekend with the family that everybody is just doing the same thing and doing your little hike behind your house.
I want not far, Stephen. If you can zoom in. We didn't connect, so I don't know who's watching. So, but if there's anybody out there, please share how you feel about what we just talked about. Give us your opinion.
So much emotion.
Very emotional topic. Very emotional.
How do you think as a real estate broker you can find balance in your life?
Problem.
Man, what is
Too much
balance?
balance.
What is balance?
Balance
Seriously.
means I work a bit. I work 2 hours. I take 8-hour break. I
How
work
is
2
balance?
hours.
That is not balance.
That's what the definition of balance is.
I don't believe that. No. Okay, who came up with that?
You did.
I came up with this.
Back in 1921, you came out with the terminology. No, I think it's trying to make everybody happy. You can't. You got to make you happy first, and then everybody's going to be happy. If you're going to be miserable because you're taking the weekend off and you're not growing on your goal of whatever the business is that you're trying to grow, then you're going to be miserable with the people that you love. 7 hours a day, and it's just not going to work. And something's going to give.
Yeah,
I'm living proof of this, by the way.
Well, what's your goal? What's the end goal?
What are you meant for? Are you meant to build something?
All depends again. It
Are
comes
you
back to-
meant to?
I don't think, it sucks what I'm going to say. I don't think everybody is meant to build the next big thing.
I agree with you. That's my point. So stop fighting it if you are meant to spend half your time.
Like in everything, you have you will have the average entrepreneur. You have the top rollers and entrepreneur. No matter what input they will. Sure, at the 60 definition of the
So
common
you're
definition.
saying you got to know who and what you are.
Of course.
And I for sure know today that I'm not a balanced individual at all. If you know what do you think? What's your opinion?
That's the
Are
thing.
you balanced?
Do I have a balanced life?
No, you know your personality. Are you or you're an extremist?
I would say that you know what? When I actually realized after months, actually, just doing the math in my head after having done maybe 6-7 months, I'm actually putting in 80-90 hours a week, and I only not, and it's
Yeah, but
absolutely
you're alive 80 hours a week. You're physically maybe thinking about real estate, but what are you actually doing?
No, on the road and calls and prospecting and so on.
You were not
You will
doing
never
80
believe anything.
hours.
I was. How you did not know me back then?
I was in constant communication with you.
That's why you hired.
Every day I was reaching out. Hey, Gabriel, what's going on?
So we just hit our fourth lie of the podcast. There's a reason why I'm now here in this position.
There should be a meter, a thing that dings every time. Anybody out there want to share how they balance of life as a self-employed or as a broker, a real estate broker, mortgage broker? Jeff, tell me what you think.
Well, I think a lot of girls, when they talk about balance or when they aspire balance in their will work a bit like what you're saying. You're gonna work for a certain time, and at one point they're gonna, when the business is yet to this point, and then they feel that they can enjoy whatever else they have in their life, right? So either enjoy the family, enjoy their take vacation.
So that's a great point, what you just said right there. But I see it in a longer term way. So let's take what you said and let's do it over years, 20 years, and then heart attack. And why heart attack? If you're having fun, if it's your purpose.
You know how many people, and I was having this conversation a couple of weeks ago with someone, you know, they work everybody around the table, and well, I'm going to try to enjoy, or I'm going to slow down, and that's when they get sick.
But were they happy? Were they doing what they were purposely made to do? Were they the little voice?
That's very true.
Gabriel? That's a profound thing right there.
That's a profound
I was not listening to my little voice when I was a younger man.
Well, that's the thing. So I think you have to become what you feel you become. If you feel that's your purpose of doing whatever it takes to get wherever you want to get, do it. So and that's becomes kind of your balance.
When you earlier with the French version, and then we had to leave, but you were saying that you had you were drinking heavily because you weren't in the pain of not being able to do what you
and I testify that I'm not
lie number 6 of the podcast.
What's a real thing and what's a lie? That's the game today. Okay, let's just make stuff up. What do you think?
Well, there's rumors now that I'm a drinker. I'm a heavy drinker.
Heavy, not just a drinker.
I have bottles at home that I haven't opened for years.
And Gabriel's an emotional eater.
Oh yeah.
See, you're eating emotionally
I'm drinking
because you might not be aligned with your purpose.
No, I'm eating emotionally because there's a lot of things that happen at work that cannot be disclosed with people in this room.
What if a show just about the things that no one knows about? The back stuff, the day-to-day.
I think a lot of investigations are going to start happening afterward.
Cool. That'd be entertaining.
Like
anybody if you guys have a question on things that we don't talk about, you want to know more about what really takes place of life, please comment, raise your hand, do something.
Do we have questions or comments?
Philip wants to know, what do you drink?
Philip wants to know what you drink, Jeff.
Are you talking about? Well, thank you very much.
Well, when he was heavily
consuming, I was drinking Perrier. Bourbon and wine. That's it. That's my drink.
Questions? Could be anything.
Jonathan is saying that he thinks balance with nature. The nature analogy is a good analogy.
Jonathan is saying that the nature analogy and in English, we didn't talk about the nature. Gabriel, you came up with this concept.
Actually, thought you put this on me.
Fifth lie of the
7.
7. So nature. Is there balance in nature?
Big time.
No.
You know, there's massive action.
Point. Balance is the best example.
What's the balance in nature?
Nature is the best example of nature.
Do trees stop growing?
No.
Do they take a bit
But
of
growth
a break?
doesn't mean no balance. That's my point.
Repeat that, please.
Growth doesn't mean no nature, no balance.
Repeat that,
You
please.
can- If you put the right pieces together with balance,
I think you
because
can-
your definition, because
No. I'm not. It's not my definition.
not you. But when I say you is that whatever is your goal. If you find the right components, it will bring you that balance that you feel and that you need. Right now, the fact that you're working to go at 100% at a time, that is your balance. That's why at the time,
I'm
when
not.
you
But
were-
workaholic. You said
No,
make
but-
it sound like it's a negative thing.
No, not at all.
It's not. Workaholic is a negative thing.
At the
Yeah.
time when you weren't listening to yourself,
Yes.
you felt the little voice that was just find your right balance for yourself. At the time, you were probably
The right rhythm, the right thing I was supposed to do.
You
I
were
was
probably
I was-
doing what the mass or
Yes,
what the
yes.
people were saying
See?
that you would have to do.
That's right, but that's my point. So you got to stop with the trying to figure out what balance. And balance does not mean to take 9 to 5. What this thing about the 9 to 5 too? Who the hell came up with that?
Geniuses that wanted to employ employees.
It's back in the industrial times and when it all started and the people, because no one was working 9 to 5 before. Did you know that? You didn't know that?
They came up with shifts to optimize the work. So they realized
That crap when they died, but there was none of that before. It was you worked. That was your thing. You worked. You worked. That was the purpose of your life. And we have a question, Stephen.
Alani is saying that in schools you're programmed by talk just like they were in factory.
That's beautiful. Who said that? Sorry.
Alani.
schools, you're programmed like
Kids are programmed in school
in school,
like factory
like
workers.
factory work.
That's right.
By the clock.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's going to be our quote now. We're going to put that.
The website, the about us.
So let's go back to day to day. What could we do differently? What's then the goal to try to figure out when someone says, "Do you have work balance?" Like,
Is that a question? Is that a question that a lot of brokers are?
yeah, Gabriel, give me the ton.
When we talk about how do I balance my life? How do I figure it out? How do I?
A lot of people talk about balance. They feel they may not have balance one way.
Ask them why. I'd love to know.
Not.
You'll tell me?
Yeah.
I'll
well,
tell you why.
the one day that
No, what's
we
the-
don't get interrupted, I think I'm going to buy some champagne
can't
to
do it.
celebrate.
No, he can't.
I can do it.
I have these
That's his
speaks
balance.
with my kids.
That's his
so we
balance.
don't interrupt.
That's the
Somebody
inner
talks.
voice
Stand
talking.
straight when you talk to Papa.
We don't.
What's the why?
Honestly,
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 I
yeah.
hope you're going to be honest about it.
Sometimes I am. Sometimes, but
Wait. The honest.
Let him talk.
No.
Lord.
This bothers me. Everybody, you meet a lot of people and they say, well, no, what's the expression? Well, to tell you. You know, don't say that. Why? It bothers me. Something that bothers me. Like,
but it catches your attention.
be
For
honest.
sure.
So you meet someone, well, yeah, to be honest, this is why would you not be, that means that
Everything else you're saying.
yeah, if you have a conversation with someone, you shouldn't have to say that unless you're talking to a police officer or the court.
Listen, to be honest.
Okay. On with the balance
So,
of life.
to be
and the why.
dishonest, you have to start with you. That's what I tell everybody, because I realize more and more when they say I don't have a balance, this and that, I realize they're just all over the place. They're a bit with the family. They're extremely reactive, right? They're a bit with their family. They're a bit feel they're all over. They feel they're busy but not necessarily productive, and they're like, oh, I don't really feel I have a balance, but I'm not getting much done. So is it worth it?
Oh, You just said something interesting here.
For once, yeah.
Feel I'm busy, but I'm not getting much done.
So you're not feeling the progress towards your goal. So what did you say after that?
But not productive. Therefore, they don't know exactly where to start or where to put more or less, and they're all. That's where they don't feel they have any balance, right? Which is why I said you should start with you.
So it's not a balance problem.
No, it's not.
It's I'm not focusing on the right activity to see the growth or to.
They simply don't have the right discipline. They're just reacting all day.
And
when top brokers are proactive.
And their wives calls and says, "Can you be home?" And all of that stuff that's what screws up. And then your parent, your whoever friends, oh well, what do you mean you're going to work on Saturday? That's not possible. Mm-hmm. But they have jobs or grow a business or be doing something that's other than the job. So you got to take that into consideration, get rid of it, because anybody that's doing, look, if you look at Apple, Starbucks, Amazon, did they take Friday afternoons off and Saturday and Sunday for the most part when they were building it? Did Jack Ma just coast along 4 days a week and 2 days, 3 days a week? And no, there's no vacation. Most of these people vacation. I was hearing this morning, I was listening to a podcast, and 12 years, this successful business person, not 1 day off, 12 years. And then people, you gotta know what you want to do, what your real dream is, or what you were meant to do, and then follow. But if it means to be self-employed, you got to get that right in your head, that it's not going to be, you're not going to make a certain amount of money or operate a business if you have, or if you think that you're going to take 2 days off per week. It ain't going to happen.
You got to be careful. No, I'll tell you. No, for people that start in entrepreneurship, or they have to be extremely careful.
Why?
Because they have to be okay with who they're going to be and what they're going to put in as work and so on. Because the second they're not, and they're not too sure, they will automatically listen to any opinion. You know the amount of time I told people, I do 70, 80 hours. And but why? And you work Saturday? Like, what the hell are you doing? And they were all confused and concerned. And if I didn't know who I was, and I didn't know, but that's just who I am, I was like, oh, but maybe I am doing something wrong, or maybe it's not.
But wait.
Maybe,
but it's not even 70 hours or 80 hours. It's what it needs and what it.
Not. It's when they ask, then you start doing the math. But when you're just in it, you're in it. Afterwards, you realize, I'm actually working triple what everybody else is. It's just the way I work, who I am, but I know what the vision is.
When you have a young child, and both of you have kids, and I have young kids, well, I have old kids and young kids. Yeah, what do you say? Well, I'm going to invest my break, and I'm going to do my. Is it like that, or it's always you got to take care of the kids?
I think
not kids, not. Excuse me, not independent kids, but babies. Like you can't decide to, I'm gonna just I'm gonna take care of the baby for 4 days out of the week, and then I'm gonna take 3 days. And is that
what's your goal? And by understanding what's your goal, you have to work around it. So no matter what it is, if it's kids, if it's a dog, if it's a wife, or no matter who it is, or whoever is around you, you have to figure out, how can I put all these pieces together and still fulfill myself? So when kids won't feed themselves.
They don't understand.
But you have to accept that, like my solution is having a nanny. And my solution is when I put the kids away, when I put the kids to bed, when I put the kids to bed, there are so I spend X amount of hours. I know, and my first son, I didn't spend much time till he was 3 years old with him, unfortunately. My daughter, I was fortunate to spend a bit more time with her, but apart from that, you have to accept, unfortunately, that you won't be there 24/7. It's that simple thing, because you want to say, one day I'm going to be able to spend every minute with my kids. But you will hear a lot of your kids are not going to be 2 years old all their life, right? Like your kids are not going to be So
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah,
if
let me tell you something about that because my kids, I have one son that's 20 years old and he's gone now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna my life if that's the for my son and then he's gonna leave, which is normal. And then what do I have now? Nothing. I did everything for my kids without thinking about me, and now he's gone, and now I'm back to square one with nothing, and now now what do I do? And
You have to
mask on you, get the oxygen, be happy, follow your purpose, and then everything else around's gotta just go with the flow.
Yeah. What I would say is, for example, for myself, and I think you do the same thing. If I'm spending 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day with my kids, I'm with them so that at least that time is fully spent. And for the rest, I am focused on what I'm.
So some would say with that explanation, Jeff, that well, maybe you should just you could just work on your business for 3 hours, very focused, and you'd get the same result that you would if you did 8 hours.
Why?
Could be a confusing example, which you
What do
just,
you mean?
and then I move on to do other things. Couldn't that be?
But the other thing is my business. So what I'm trying to figure.
You're saying, oh my God.
He's saying that even if he has to spend 14 hours of work, right, and just working nonstop without thinking family, kids, or anything, and just working nonstop over the clock, kids, he's not still thinking about work, and then it's like he never stopped and so on. So he's with them.
And I will say, I mean, I'm still worth thinking about the business, but I have to accept that, okay, well, during that 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours I am with the kids, I am spending that time with them. So at least they feel that their father is still there. Not always there, you know. This week I didn't put my daughter to bed 3 times this week. And so
You should be
that means
ashamed of yourself.
that means I see her in the morning and I only see her the next morning. You know, it's sometimes it does suck, but
Yeah.
when you are focused on your
There's gonna have to be some sacrifices, is what I'm
A
trying
lot.
to say.
Absolutely.
Of course.
And what we are meant to it has to come first, is what I'm trying to say. So if anybody needs a divorce lawyer, I have some to refer. No, it's very important. I think this is my realization at 45 years old, that you got to be you first, your dream, your goal. You got one life. Now, I might regret what I pick and choose, but that's my. But you're going to regret it too if you sacrifice too much of your goal and your life and your joy for others.
Listen to yourself. Listen to
So-
yourself. Listen to whatever you feel that is your purpose, and focus on that.
So deep this Friday. This
And by
conversation.
doing that, everything around you will.
And Gabriel's emotional eating.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to see Sebastian. So
Maniscalco.
Maniscalco.
So you guys are going to enjoy the
It's gonna be
balanced
great.
life and spend it. So
It's been how many months we've worked together?
7, 8.
It's the first thing we do
Yeah.
that's fun. So do
It's true.
work for 8 months, 9 months, then do one quick evening of entertainment.
Very quick.
Very quick
We leave in the middle of the show. We're getting back to work. It's
That's
over.
enough. Tomorrow we get up at 4, 3 a.m.
That's right.
So anybody have a comment, question? A negative comment, please? Someone?
Nicholas was asking if you have any other regrets.
Oh,
While,
Nicholas is
while
asking
Maria
if
is
Sam
watching.
has other. Do you ever have any other regrets?
Yeah, my main regret is just not to be someone else for too long. Just not listening to the little voice. As it says, movie recording has been stopped automatically, the maximum recording time. No, that's not my main regret, Nick. I don't know if you can still hear me or see me, but I'll just talk to myself for the next few minutes.
That was my camera.
Ah.
It wasn't.
So thank you, Nick, for bringing me down. Thank you for depressing me totally on we go out with the wives and the show. And
So I think it's switch it up. Thank you. So I think it was a great subject, guys, fellas. Enjoy your show while everybody else works. And,
thank you, Joe.
And
Great
enjoy
show.
the balanced life with the family.
Thank you, everybody. See you
Have a
Monday.
great weekend. Bye bye.